Hi everyone. I have an example of a workboard for centers that I used with my students, and it has the groups of students. I have 6 children in each group. They're a mixture of boys and girls, and they're heterogeneous of different reading levels so that they can support each other as they're working in their centers. And then each group has a series of centers they need to complete for that day. Depending on the amount of time you have and where you are in the year, you may have a different number of centers. Usually I wouldn't start with the workboard with more than 2 centers and then gradually grow to 3. If I have a longer block for reading time, I might have 4 centers, but with about 45 minutes, they're probably going to get 2 done and maybe start the 3rd. It also depends if you're pulling those kids for a reading group or not that day. Usually I put up front the 2 most important centers that I want them to get done, and then the 3rd center is something, if they don't get to it, it's not going to be critical that they haven't completed that. It's also usually a high interest one so that they're motivated to get the first 2 done in a timely fashion because they want to get to the 3rd center. And then what I do is at the end of the day, I'll just take the names from the final column, move everybody's card down 1, and put the final card at the beginning, and so then it's set for the next day that they have a new group of centers to do. And I just keep doing that each day till they've completed all the centers. As you can see, I have 5 days of centers here. And if you do centers every day, this would be a week's worth, but if you only do it 3 or 4 days, you could have 1 or 2 go into the next week. The advantage of that too is that you don't have to set up all new centers on a Friday when maybe you would like to leave a little earlier, but can set up your new centers Monday or Tuesday when you plan to stay a little bit later for planning. And you can also have more pockets and do 6 rows. It's really flexible as far as what works for you, for your prep time, for how you manage your students. But this is the way I've set up my centers. It's worked for me.